All right, let's get into a post-NFL Combine mock draft for the Chicago Bears. My name is Harrison Graham. Full 7 rounds with trades on today's mock. Just some takeaways from the Combine for me when it comes to this draft class. I think it's a really deep edge group. You got the premium guys at the top, the David Baileys, the Reuben Baines, potentially Arvell Reese, depending on how teams view him. Then you got guys later in the first round, and then you have a ton of day 2 guys and even some day 3 guys that I think can contribute. So I think that could be a position the Bears would wait on, depending on what they do in free agency. There's a lot of different buckets in this draft for safeties, too. You got, again, first-round guys, day 2, I think even a few on day 3 that could come in and start if they fit the scheme well. I think there's going to be a lot of varying opinions league-wide around these offensive tackles, especially with a guy like Spencer Fano measuring in with pretty short arms. A guy like Monroe Freeling is jumping up draft boards. Maui Noah, some teams view him as a guard. Caden Proctor's polarizing with his size and athletic traits. So it'll be interesting to see how the league views these guys and how the Bears view them. Like, would they take one of these guys to be your left tackle? I think it's a good, not great defensive tackle depth group. I also don't love it at the top. Like, I wouldn't take a D-tack in the top 10 of this draft. Now, the Bears are at 25, so they will have some options there that I'd be comfortable with. And I think overall, and you're seeing this every year, the athleticism on these guys is off the charts. I mean, you look at these RAS scores, and they're all like in the 9s, it feels like. So I do think you're going to be able to find some athletic traits at a lot of these positions in this NFL draft. All right, fill in the blank for us. The Bears should draft blank in round 1. Position, player, whatever you're feeling, fill in the blank for us on this video. Okay, we're going to trade. Let's trade down in the first round. Just 4 spots. I get 29 and 61. The Rams get 25 and 89. So I move up a lot on day 2, and then I move down 4 spots in day 1. Not sure you'd get that much in kind of a pick swap type of trade, but first-round picks obviously carry a lot more weight than day 2 selections. This is going to catch some people off guard, but I think Jacob Rodriguez, guys, could go in the first round. Trade down, improve your capital overall, take the Texas Tech linebacker, 29 overall. It's not a premium position, but it's a strong position of need. And I think Jacob Rodriguez has a really good chance of going in the first round. I think he's a lock second-round guy, probably a lock top 40 pick, because we've talked about it. The production is awesome. The film is awesome. He's always around the ball. He seems to know what the quarterback is doing before the quarterback knows what he's doing. The ball production is fantastic. The only question we had when it came to Jacob Rodriguez is, can he just test well enough? Test well enough? He was lights out. His athletic profile was fantastic. It was over a 9.5 out of 10 RAS score, relative athletic. The only yellow on the screen is the height and weight, and it was still good enough. I mean, his was it the 10-yard split? He had better than Sonny Styles. He was awesome. Like, I feel really, really good about this player now. He's not getting to 57. I'll tell you that right now. To me, if you're counting Arvell Reese as an off-ball linebacker, he's the third best linebacker in this draft in terms of like how I would order it. You could debate Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. I think Rodriguez is third. I have him ahead of C.J. Allen out of Georgia. I have him ahead of Anthony Hill. I just think this guy has been so productive. All we needed to know was, how athletic is he? Well, turns out he's very athletic. And I think we kind of started to figure that out at the Senior Bowl when he was holding his own one-on-one drills, which favor the offense, and he knocked it out of the park in Indianapolis. So I would not be shocked if he went in the first round. This would kind of be the ideal scenario if you had to take him high. You trade back, get a little bit more in draft capital, but I'd be comfortable with this if I was Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, and Dennis Allen. Would you take Jacob Rodriguez in the first round? Type Y for yes, type in for no. And by the way, the intangibles are off the charts, according to reports, and we know how much this Bears regime values character. All right, round 2, pick number 57, Dontay Corleone, a.k.a. the Godfather. He actually talked about his meeting with the Bears at the NFL Combine. Take a listen.
I have talked to Chicago. Good people. I've been knowing the scout for like 3 years now. They've been trying to get me, but just having that good relationship with Chicago and just talking well to him.
Yeah, I think the Godfather is one of the best run stoppers in this draft. And it's going to be really interesting how the Bears view this defensive tackle draft because the guys in the first round, the Peter Woods, the Caleb Banks, the Caden McDonalds, we'll see if Lee Hunter is still a first rounder after not testing so well, and Kristen Miller. None of those guys feel like home runs to me. So, like, are you better off getting into this next bucket of guys, the Dominique Oranges, the Dontay Corleones, the Darrell Jacksons of the world? You might be because, like, if I don't feel very confident in what one of those other guys can do in the first round, I don't know if I want to take them in the first round. So, getting to this second tier, Dontay Corleone is a really good run stopper. Has a bit of an injury history, but I think he could come in, be your Andrew Billings replacement, but a better scheme fit. In this defense. Play that one tech role, take on multiple blockers and free up linebackers to clean up in the run game. That's what his role would be. Not going to give you a ton of juice as a pass rusher, but neither is a Caden McDonald. Now, he has more developmental traits than a Dontay Corleone, but I think Corleone at 57 is a better option than McDonald at 25. I might be on an island there, but that's personally how I feel about that, which is part of the reason why I did not go defensive tackle in the first round. Okay, I'm trading again. I'm going to trade back from 61, the pick I picked up from the Rams in that first trade, to 72. I also get 110. The Bengals get 129. So move down 11 spots, move up 19 in the fourth round. So pretty even trade there. And then I'm going to take a guy who's becoming one of my draft crushes, Dani Dennis-Sutton, the edge rusher out of Penn State. These Penn State dudes are always just built in a lab. It seems like they test off the charts. But he also has production to back it up. Back-to-back 8.5 sack seasons, and that's despite playing 3 less games this year because obviously Penn State went on a nice little CFP run back in 2024. He's probably not like – he does get a little tight-hipped as an edge rusher, which is probably why he won't be a first-round pick. But – production, could set the edge in the run game, still a good pass rusher, over 15% pass rush win rate for Penn State. He tested exceptionally well. The weight is slightly on the lighter end for what a Dennis Allen defense would want, but he's big and long. He's got the arm strength, the arm length. I think you could put 10 pounds onto this frame pretty easily. If you can get him up to 265, then he checks kind of that final box for Dennis Allen. He's becoming one of my favorite edges on day 2. I like guys who are athletic and have the production to back it up. It's like the Jacob Rodriguez thing, right? It's like, we know he's productive. We know he's a smart player. Is he athletic enough? Yeah, he's really athletic, it turns out. Oh, okay, I'll take him in the first round. This guy, is he athletic enough? He's pretty athletic. He's tall. He's long. Yeah, he can put on 10 pounds, but checks a lot of the boxes Dennis Allen wants. Good against the run. Has some production as a pass rusher. Third round? Yeah, I'll take this guy in the top 75. So I like this pick, and I think you could come in. He could be your third, fourth edge rusher right away and has a starting developmental ability as well. All right, why not? Let's keep the trades going. I'm going to trade DJ Moore to the Tennessee Titans for pick 101. I don't know if that's on the rich end of things. I was going to trade him either to Tennessee or New England. I ended up going Tennessee because I think there's a decent chance the Patriots end up getting A.J. Brown. I'll tell you who the Bears get with that pick coming up in a moment. But shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. Prize Picks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss the chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. By the way, what does that smell like? Oh, yeah, March. The madness, it's here. You're not going to want to miss out on Prize Picks opportunities with all the hoops action heating up. Baseball's around the corner. We've got season-long football stat projections available, too, if you're a football junkie like me and want to just stick with that. Here's a little 3-player lineup I've got with some of those season-long stat projections for football. I took more on Myles Garrett sacks, more on Caleb Williams pass yards, and more on Colston Loveland receiving touchdowns. $20 lineup to win $100. Check it out today. Download the Prize Picks app. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Okay, I went back-to-back personal draft crushes here. If you follow me on Twitter, you've probably picked this up. Mike Washington Jr., the running back out of Arkansas. I think he's played his way into RB3. I don't know if he gets out of the third round. Now, this is literally the first pick of the fourth round before comp picks are awarded, so I think there's a chance he falls to day 3. I still think Jadarian Price is RB2 behind Jeremiah Love, but I think Washington is firmly in that RB3 discussion. Had a really good season for Arkansas last year, was their best player on offense. I was surprised when watching some of his highlights and a couple clips of his tape as well. He's pretty good as a receiver, man. There's one play, it might have been against Texas, where he catches a wheel route on the left sideline and makes a guy miss, and I'm like, okay, this dude is 6'1", 223. He's a battering ram who will also run away from you. He ran a 4.33 in the 40. It's literally the greatest testing we've ever seen from a running back. He's big, he's physical, he's fast, he's shifty. The only negative to Mike Washington Jr. is he does have 10 career fumbles in 5 years, an average of 2 per year. So that's a little high. You don't love that. He had 3 last year for Arkansas. That's not a terrible number considering he had around 200 touches. It's not bad. It's a little on the high end still. If he can improve the ball security, there's nothing he can't do. Now, he could probably improve a little in pass pro. That's every running back these days in college football. But man, like the size, speed, shiftiness combination with this guy, the ability to catch the football. He's not going to be Le'Veon Bell, but I think he could be a guy that gives you 300-400 yards receiving if he ever becomes a primary back. There's no reason why, from just a athletic profile standpoint, he couldn't become a lead back down the road. And the beauty of this is if the Bears took him, they would have a lot of options. They could turn around and try to trade DeAndre Swift or cut him. They could simply have Washington kind of redshirt this year, be an RB3 behind DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. Like that's the beauty of this, and I think a Washington-Monangai combo moving forward could really work. So I'm pretty bullish on this kid. I would love it if the Bears got him. I got to think Ben Johnson, watching this guy test with his size and speed combo, got him pretty excited about what he could do in his offense. If you want more Bears mock drafts, draft videos in general, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be hammering draft content, at least one video per week the rest of the way leading up to the NFL draft. So don't miss out. Subscribe today. We got you guys covered. Okay, I took a personal favorite of mine as well. Bud Clark, the safety out of TCU. Now, he also could potentially have worked his way into day 2. But again, it's also the kind of that type of year like, oh, he's day 2. Oh, he's day 2. Well, they can't all go day 2. Like some guys are going to fall to day 3. 6-year college player, 61 career games. The ball production off the charts, right? 15 picks, 21 breakups. His willingness to tackle is a little inconsistent for me. I don't love that. I think part of that's the frame. He's 188 pounds. He's going to play around 185, 190, so he's not a battering ram of a safety. He's a center fielder nickel hybrid. Like, you're not going to ask him to play in the box a ton. If he does play nickel, he's going to be more of a cover nickel. He's not going to be one of these, like, Nicky Manwari nickels that's willing to play downhill a lot, or even a Kyler Gordon, who's not the biggest guy, but we know how willing he is as a tackler. You know who he honestly reminds me a lot of? Eddie Jackson. Read the quarterback's eyes, go make plays on the football. He did that throughout his college career. I'll put you in a time machine if you go back, because I know a lot of you guys are Big Ten fans, the Michigan-TCU college football playoff game. He had that pick 6 off of J.J. McCarthy early in that game. Goes to show how long he's been in college as well. But he is really good at diagnosing what the quarterback wants to do. That's what Eddie Jackson was good at. Now, he gambles some and he gets beat because of it, but he's going to make a lot of plays on the football. You think about a defense that led the NFL in takeaways, Bud Clark fits that to a T. So if you could get him late 3rd, early 4th, I think that's really good value. And you got this as well, and I've heard this from people inside that TCU program. Bud Clark, this is Fran Duffy tweeting this out, draft analyst for All City. Bud Clark was, I don't know how this came up at his press conference. He says, there's an art in trash talking. I'm fluent in it. He will run his mouth, and I don't mind that as long as you don't cross that line. All right, get to some later day 3 picks. Jeff Caldwell, who I had heard about, and I remember him vaguely last year at Cincinnati. Only played 1 year there. I think he played like D2 ball before that, or FCS level. Transferred to Cincinnati. He had decent production. He is 6'5", 215, and runs in the 4.3s. In the 5th round, I'm intrigued. Come in, see what you can do. You got the size-speed combo. Now, despite being that big, his what's the stat on PFF? The jump ball contested catch rate was not the best. But if he could separate, run some posts, some go routes, like he's not going to run the full tree for you, but come in, compete to be like a wide receiver 4 early on, maybe develop into a wide receiver 3. Run 10 routes a game, run some go routes. You catch 5 or 6 of those over the course of your rookie year. That's a good pick in the 5th round. All right, then you got the 7th round picks. Luke Altmyer, there's enough talk right now around, is Bagent going to be here? Could they trade him? What's Case Keenum's future look like? I could see the Bears using one of these 7th round picks on a quarterback. Is Taylor Green there? Would Ben Johnson be interested in his athleticism and use him as kind of an athlete while you're also developing him as a quarterback? Luke Altmyer is like the total opposite, like okay athlete, but he's more of he'll probably be in the league for 6, 8, 10 years as a backup quarterback, just a pretty smart kid that's played a lot of ball in college. Out of Illinois, you guys are familiar with him, obviously. And then TJ Hall out of Iowa, decent college career. They typically put out good pros in the secondary. Again, we're talking round 7, guy who can come in, compete for special teams, and try to push for a roster spot, compete with guys like Zay Frazier on this roster. So there you have it. Trading around a lot, traded away DJ Moore, ended up with 8 draft picks. Jacob Rodriguez after a small trade down in the 1st round. Day 2, Dontay Corleone, the defensive tackle out of Cincinnati. Penn State edge rusher Dani Dennis-Sutton in the 3rd. Mike Washington Jr. to start the 4th round. The running back out of Arkansas, TCU safety Bud Clark in round 4. And then Cincinnati receiver Jeff Caldwell, Luke Altmyer, the Illinois quarterback, and then TJ Hall, the corner out of Iowa, to wrap up this mock draft. Grade this post-combine mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. How do you think I did? Drop a letter grade down in the comments below. My name is Harrison Graham. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this video. Appreciate it very, very much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will continue to plug out content. We'll see you guys very soon. Bear down.